teaching, practice, and observance. Every citizen in Nigeria is entitled to move freely throughout Nigeria and to reside in any part thereof, and no citizen of Nigeria shall be first to exit. Imposing restrictions on the residence or movement of anybody who has committed an offense and has the reasonable order from the court can be prevented from moving around or leaving Nigeria. These rights are fundamental rights because they are justificable means that upon violation, any individual can seek redress in a court of law. Nigeria has made serious improvements in human rights under the 1999 Constitution, though the American Human Rights Report of 2012 notes areas where significant improvement is needed, which includes abuses by Boko Haram, killings by governmental forces, lack of social equality, and issues with freedom of speech. The Human Rights Clutch 2015 World Report states that intensified violence by Boko Haram, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender rights, and government corruption continue to undermine the status of human rights in Nigeria. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, 31% of Nigerian children, around 14 million children aged 5 to 14 years, are working children engaged in forced labor in various sectors. For instance, child labor have been observed in the agricultural sector, where children participate in the production of cocoa, cassava, and sand, and in the mining industry, where they mine, quarry, and crush gravel and granite. In Nigeria, most child labor is found in the informal agricultural sector. Instead of attending schools, more than 50% of children living in the rural areas of Nigeria spend more than 50 hours a week working, which is considered the point at which a child's education becomes significantly affected. Early marriage is prevalent in Nigeria, especially in the north, due to the belief that early marriage prevents promiscuity. However, the major cause of early marriage has been attributed to poverty. Many girls are married off by the time they are 15, and some girls are married as early as 9. Girls are extremely susceptible to disease and domestic violence and have restricted access to education due to the early age at which they give birth and begin care for their children. One popular source of legislation that was first brought forward in 1999 and became national law in 2003 is the Child Rights Act. Among other factors to protect children from abuses are discrimination. Section 21 and 23 of the Act made it illegal to marry off a child below the age of 18. If a husband consummates a marriage with a child, it is considered rape. The Child Rights Act competes with Sharia law in some states, as well as with customs and cultural expectations in different religions. Even though Nigeria has come a long way in our efforts to protect and promote human rights, more still has to be done. Nigeria needs to go beyond the ratification of various international documents on human rights to ensure that these rights are enjoyed by Nigerians and non-Nigerians within our borders. Enjoyment of fundamental human rights in any society has never come into being without the people rising against tyranny and disrespect for the right of the governed by those in position of authority.
Keep watching Mid-Morning Show.
A very beautiful feature right there, I must say, on human rights. And the song at the end of it, splendid.
That took it all. Yeah.
Splendid. All right, we need to take this commercial. We'll be right back.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Okay, you're welcome back. It's still the mid-morning show. And remember what we said at the beginning, Nancy? Yeah. We said it's going to be a special one, due to unforeseen circumstances. Our guests couldn't join us. So we're going to have a repeat of the show. And this is going to be an interview with Mrs. Kemi Ademola Aremu. Let's have it.
Houston, I lived to you. And of course, that was a feature on human rights. Yes. Human rights, and that's leading us to our guest on the show today. Like we said before, she is the full package.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, she is a human rights activist, a lecturer, relationship coach, and peace advocate. So please, when I say full package, we mean full package. And she is Mrs. Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be with you. Thank you. And this is a huge platform. Thank you for bringing me, and I'm glad. It's a privilege.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ma. So let's talk about, as a first daughter,
yes,
growing up, I want you to tell us about your growth, like how you grew up.
It's a privilege to be the daughter of my father. Yes, the thing is, we lost him quite early. But I tell you, and I will soon tell you how early that was. By the time I think there was one holiday, kindergarten now, nursery school. Okay. I was up for a performance, acting, and when I was through, can you imagine a father, my dad was quite tall, putting his daughter on the shoulder to carry me to the car.
Wow.
That was one man that always celebrated me. As a child, he would introduce an adult to me, Princess Smith. And we introduced Professor so, he would introduce you, so I could never be intimidated. And then he placed a shelf in my room, books. I still love books till tomorrow. I own a library. So I'm saying that it was a privilege to be born into that family. A creative family, scientific too. He owned his own company, and he was a very great man. He's a major factor in my life. And he married a wonderful woman. So my mom, after my daddy died when I was 8, okay, before then, there was a day he bought this Ofi, okay, and then he dressed up for me. He said, I'll wear something like this on your wedding day. Guess how old I was? I was around 6. So I'm saying that I learned respect for men in my home. Men who I'm a feminist, yes, I believe in feminine ideologies. So to tell you, the balance comes from your parents. My mom, who taught me how to deal with criticism, gossip, so you talk about me from now to tomorrow, you're not making any sense. And my dad, when I was 3, told me, Katie, your life is going to be very public. So make sure you never do anything that cannot be broadcasted.
Even as at that time.
Even at that time. So by the time he died when I was 8, in fact, he died 4 days after my 8th birthday. Everybody had come visiting, and we still maintained his standard. It's so strange that in those 8 years, all of us could remember aspects of my daddy. His handwriting was on the design of the house, the factory he had built, the value of service to humanity, philanthropic generosity, seeing my parents work out accounts late in the middle of the night. So it's a privilege to be born into such families. And I know many of you have such families, and some people are not so privileged. And that is why I fight for people. No matter where you're born, you didn't choose your parents, so it's a privilege to be born by your parents. And whatever test you're going through too, you will overcome. All you need is education. That's why I'm a lecturer.
But growing up, being the first daughter, were there times that you felt overwhelmed with responsibilities as being the first daughter?
No, never. After me is a guy, wonderful. He's my corrector. You see, I was trained early to respect humanity. I knew that life comes from God and is deposited in people. So there's something special about every human being. I've learned so many things from my students. I'm a product of love. Love of I remember my nursery school head mistress, Mrs. Ewemoje, and I kept visiting her till I left Ibadan, okay? I remember my primary school teachers, so I am a product of love. The love of institutions, the universities I went to, the schools I went to, my principals, my teachers, I kept thinking about all of them. Parentage, I'm a lover because I've been loved by my community. Yeah. I've been loved by my institutions, and that is why I fight for institutions to be established, because I have found safety, a lot of it. And of course, for every bad person I ever met, I was already equipped to learn from them. I never saw a bad person as somebody to hate. It's somebody to prod or test your integrity, okay? So it's not that I didn't meet terrible people. Oh, I'm an activist, that means we see very terrible people. Yes, but what it means, and each time you save somebody from an oppressor, the oppressor becomes your enemy. People should know that. When you cry to us to help, and we go about the help, somebody might need to go to jail.
At the end of the day.
That means the family members, the tribal members, the religious, clique becomes your enemy. Even when we go out to fight for the weak or weaker, let's put that as weaker, people are out there to hate you, to hate on you, to try to bomb you. There was a time when they were finding us like rats, going with guns if we had to. So I'm saying that I've received love, a lot of love. And even now here is a lot of love to be on BCOS today. I saw that, yes. There was a time I was very ill to the point of death until I was very sick. I was on oxygen. And while I was thinking, I was just giving thanks. I was thanking God for the committee that sat and decided to have a Jaja hospital. I was grateful to God that there's something called the medical sector. You see, I was glad. Some people fought for the freedom not to pay tax for women.
I'm sorry,
Some people.
Need to continue. I really need to continue, but we have to go on this commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, it's still the mid-morning show, and of course, it's the personality of the week, like we do every Wednesdays, to motivate you and to inspire you. And we have a human rights activist, a lecturer, a relationship coach, and a peace advocate, Mrs. Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu, who's been taking us into our world little by little. We don't want to rush her because she has a whole lot of story to tell us today. Now, you were talking about the fact that you received love from institutions around you.
From people.
You were grateful for people around you, despite the fact that your father died at a very tender age.
Really, I wasn't a charity case. I actually had a company. But really, the truth is this. I thought, so many times I don't really have time to think about me much.
Okay.
And I was quite precocious as a child. I've lived my life. But I had cause to think, okay, what am I all about? Love. I survived my infancy because of the love and the protection of my parents.
Yeah.
I survived, I learned because my teachers were dedicated to their jobs. And visionary, even now, I still have mentors, Professor Jaya Neto, Professor Olusegun Ademowo. My life is people by people that recommended me for jobs, people that were willing to bring me out there. And that's what I mentioned, because you're willing to bring me up. So people that want to hear you, people that want to do for you. So I am a lover. I've enjoyed love. And I know love constrains us. So that is why when I see people that don't care, it's a lot of problems. So I've enjoyed love. I've enjoyed protection from the male members of my family. They're quite protective, yes. And I've enjoyed love from my spouse, a lot of it. My in-laws, I've just been surrounded by love, really.
So let's take you back to primary school. How was primary school like? Secondary school as well.
Oh, yeah.
Take us through this.
Yes, my primary school was very nice. My nursery school, there was one Babari. That nursery school really meant something because there was a girl that was named Ari, and the father was Babari,
And
she was in that nursery school, and the father was the gate man.
Okay.
Do you get the idea? That meant a lot to me. Now, in retrospect, now secondary school, there were different kinds of people in my school. Indians, all manner of people were there. And the teachers were there, okay? So, and then when I was in primary 2, thereabout, I was quite tall for my age anyway. They picked me out to march for October 1st. Okay. You know, a little girl, you're very young. I was less than 6 there, but I was very young. And, they noticed she had a gift. Oh. They noticed my mesomorphic frame. So teachers always notice something. That's why I don't like it when people don't respect teachers. They cite the silent talent. Your father cannot make you march in a band. It's the teacher that will cite and pick you out to march in the band. That was significant to me. My secondary school, so from primary 5, I then used to write exams. So Oyo State decided that year that you would have an Oyo State exam. So I wrote an exam, passed to People's Girls Grammar School. They said they didn't want all these brilliant girls going to one school, then Queen's School, St. Anne's, thereabout. So I ended up in People's Girls Grammar School. Now, People's Girls Grammar School is in the memory of Efoshetani. That was a very wonderful businesswoman. And I had a French teacher. She made a lot of impact in my life. She was there for just 1 year. And that's 1 year I loved French. I still like French. Spoke a lot of French for a long time, and didn't speak it when I got back. Now I'm trying to pick it up because I want to do some West African thing. If you're going to be significant in Africa, you speak some French.
Understand
but
French,
I can read French clearly, So I'm saying that teacher that comes in for 1 minute, one section, one term, can change and introduce your beautiful children to anything that can make for anything. So I respect teachers a lot. Then I left after a year. My mommy couldn't stand me staying in a school like that. Okay, so I went to Federal Government Girls College, New Busa. Okay. There I had a wonderful principal. Now, don't think I'm describing people by superlatives. I'm very, very down to earth. No, that's the truth. I go under the bridge. I meet all manner of human beings. So to show you that, yes, really, I've met wonderful people. So now, my principal wasn't perfect. She was high on coffee. She's white. High on coffee, high on smoking and stuff like that. Well, if there was anything, she gave me freedom. Freedom meant you could read anytime you wanted to read. Okay. And the environment was easy. So about 3 months, last month, thereabouts, there was an FGGC meet. And I discovered the students that went to school after me went to a different school. They were talking about bullying, They didn't even know they were describing bullying. To me, seniors beating you, punishing you was terrible. It never occurred when we were there. So I'm calling on everybody. If you met any good structure built by somebody, don't be the one to destroy it. Being black is not an excuse for being stupid. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. So if whatever the colonial masters were able to leave or whatever, we should make them better because now we're in charge. And that goes to my work ethics. Throughout my schooling, my parents always involved us in the factory. Wow. And they told us, yes, this is you are a board member the day you're born, really. And you'll be attending meetings, really. As soon as you can sit down, you sit. When you can count oranges, you'll be counting. Okay. So now they did something that was fantastic. They said, look, if this is your company, so you must be better at every process section than any worker. We grew up with that sense of responsibility, so you cannot afford to be lazy. So all my holiday jobs were done in my daddy's factory, and it was sectioned. The last aspect of it to be marketing. So you start with counting oranges as a child. What people now call cottage industries, what they're thinking about China now. That's what it is. You're born into that family, which was African, really. In Africa, you were born into a family where they beat drums, you see them make the drums. You're born into a family where they are smiths, you see them do the job. So you were never jobless. And I'm very African in my outlook. Yes, really. Because, my dad had a manufacturing concern, yes, and I was through the process. So you don't tell a child not when you're on the bottles. You're on the bottles, you're working. You know how to wash the factory floor. They don't say you're a child and the adults are just washing and you lack respect. And of course, there are many people around, workers, housemaids and stuff and stuff and stuff. Everybody everywhere. So I am saying that I learned respect at home. So by the time I went to the secondary school, now my daddy had died when I was 8. something happened. I was trying to gain admission. You know, I had chosen New Busa now. My mommy didn't have chosen. She's watching me now. She didn't know I was the one that chose it when I went for the interview. She wanted me to go to FGGC Oyo.
Oh.
I'm a first child, and my mom is very loving. And she's lost her husband, so this is her daughter. You know, she don't be too far away. So I chose New Busa. I didn't tell. So when she saw the letter, New Busa? She wanted me to. She just said, let's go back to Queen's School. Now, Queen's School had admitted me, but I had rejected the admission. You know,
Without telling her?
No, she knew.
Oh, okay.
No, when you don't, you know, you have to give an acceptance within a specified period.
Yes.
So the New Busa admission came after.
Oh.
So she took me there and said, oh, they should come. I said, no, but she's the first on the list. And she did not turn up. We've given her space to another child, which is natural. My mom said, oh, her dad is dead. No. I was thinking, excuse me, did I get a disease or something? You know? See, another person would have seen that as a crutch for life. But I told myself that I said, no. I will never. Because the only thing people do with weak people is trample on them. You cannot beg your way into people's heart. You cannot tell anybody you're weak and they won't trample on you. So I thought, what? So nothing's wrong with me, one. Not that she can't pay my fees. My legs didn't get broken. I didn't die along with my dad, you know. So will that now become an excuse for life? Do you get it? So I told myself as a child, and I said, no. When I go to school, I'm not going to tell anybody I lost my dad.
Okay.
None of my secondary school mates knew I lost my dad. Because there was nothing their daddies were doing for them my mother couldn't do for me. And she was running the factory. She's a fantastic woman. In fact, she's a wonderful woman. And my grandma, who used to come on holidays then, she would come when we were home, she made me an activist by telling me stories. So I value human libraries. She was one woman that was very, very strong in trade, and I would not call it, you know, people say opinionated. No, I'm not thinking opinionated. It is knowing what you want, building principles around it, and manning the boundaries. She was that woman. And she would always wear gele in the house. You will never see her in scarves or stuff like it's gele. And she would paint her nails every day. She's the perfect fashionista. She was Shion Bola Omidiron. So she groomed my mom. Then my mom was strong there. So that was important to me. So in secondary school, I didn't give anybody any inkling that I was, you know, there's no excuse in life, okay? But during that meeting last month, I said, oh, they said, what did you remember? I said, well, one day I was reading in one of the uncompleted buildings, and I saw a snake. The strange thing so I went to the next room and told another friend. We went to the building together and said, oh, there's a snake in the room, and the snake is beautiful.
Snake is
yes.
You didn't run.
That was the funny thing. So the girl that was not said, yes, that she was telling somebody last week that there was one girl in their school that was always picking things and looking at things. I said, look, where people see pain, I see beauty. Where people see fear, I see art. Where people fear to tread, you know, I see it as a challenge. Do you get it? So I looked at the snake. The snake, I just told the girl, excuse me, what did you just say? You know, a normal girl would run. So that girl remembered that. By the way, her father was the manager of Basita Sugar Company then. And I'm so unhappy that Nigerians are now seeking sugar from outside Nigeria.
When we actually...
When we saw all these things, okay? And now, my uncles, every holiday I traveled. Every holiday I was
like
somewhere.
An adventure for you?
I'm an adventurer. In fact, if you saw my earlier CVs, you would see there, I love traveling. I love paint. In the family, we paint. Wow. We draw. You know, it's part of life, you know. You would do crafts, you know. You would go to the factory. So it was normal to work throughout the day, you know. Our fun was holiday. Then you get gifts every day. Every gift you get is books plus. My mommy would take me shopping. If she wanted to buy me books, we'll just pass through UTC, Leventis, Kingsway, Okebola. We'll just go that way. And you're free to pick whatever you wanted. And strange enough, wearing picking things that were outrageous. So parents, please, trust your children. You know, you would have this, you know, she would not say pick the normal sharpener. You know a child will want this beautiful pen. She will allow you to pick them. She will take her time, pick your pajamas, you know, and she'll tell you why that pajama is better than the one you're thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, she tried. This is cotton.
Okay.
You know, I remember there was a time I went to buy a funny shoe. It was platform. That one, they were called Igbo made. It was 6 naira. Yes. Secondary school, you know, I think I was done with secondary school. My cousin was still in school. So my cousin said she had seen one shoe she wanted to buy. I wasn't buying things for myself. My mommy would buy. So she now went to this place just at the head of this Dugbe area. They had bought the shoe. I said, this is what she wanted to buy. So I saw it platform high like that. So I told my mommy, I've seen one shoe. And now Leonard's was just down the road.
Okay.
So she would take you to Leonard's to buy or butter. So she said, I said, no, don't worry. That shoe was to be 21, the one she wanted to buy for me. I told her, I don't need the 21 naira shoe. It's the 6 naira I needed. So I took off. When I came back, her brother was around, my uncle. Wonderful man. Late Professor Mindiro, wonderful man. So I'm sure my mom is laughing. Cheap.
Wow, I think we have to go on this break. We'll be right back.
I'm getting on.
All right, it's still the mid-morning show, and we have a personality of the week, Mrs. Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu. Now, she's been taking us into a world growing up. So let's now ask, University of Maiduguri, University of Ibadan.
Yes.
Tell us about your experience during the period.
University of Ibadan, beautiful. I had wonderful teachers. The number 4 in the world, I was in the Department of Chemistry. Number 4 chemist in the world was in my department. Number 12 was in my department. There were 13 professors.
Wow.
And the professors teach 200 level. I came in by direct entry. I went to a boys' school, by the way. I went to Queen's School, but I was with the GCI for my HSC because I was in science. And thank you, 82 set of GCI. They invited me for some intervention. So I'm saying that shaped me. So by the time I got into UI, I was not the crazy girl for parties. You know, I was too serious. You know, yes, I'd been to a boy. I know what boys. You know, boy like I don't want boyfriend. So my best friend is a guy. So I have a brother that is a guy. So I'm used to being in the midst of guys and comfortable. They were all safe. I can say that till tomorrow. So they were all safe. So university, Professor Faboya supervised my first degree. He gave me a very wonderful topic, looking at dietary fiber. And that led me into looking at, because while you're doing the research, 2 things happened. The equipment that was in food tech, the fiber tech, did not have soap, the kind of soap you use for digestion.
Okay.
So I told myself, I'm a chemist. So I went as far as Coca-Cola then to look at the soap they were using to wash bottles.
Okay.
Formulated the soap, tested it, and we used the soap to use the machine at that time.
Wow.
And my supervisor gave me that room, liberty. I value freedom. Thank you, Professor Faboya. You know, he's a wonderful man, you know. Then, so I was in analytical chemistry, food chemistry, analytical chemistry. That led to me to discover that prevalence of diseases were linked to diet. And today, I'm a toxicologist, I'm a chemical pathology. So university was it for me. And I saw my teachers, they were wonderful. I can mention them. Now, my MSc, I went for an MBA degree, okay, because I felt, I noticed, I went to Coca-Cola factory then. I noticed that the managers had air conditioning in their office. But the factory manager had his drink on the split AC. On the factory floor. So I told myself, I said, this is what will eventually happen. The brilliant students will be managed by the managers.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going for business administration. And I wanted to be the manager of a manufacturing concern because I would understand why the production manager should have 2 offices.
Okay.
A section where there is air conditioning and all, and a section that definitely by virtue of technicality would be the bare floor, the German floor. But it would also have some level, and I would give the proper salaries, okay, and hazard allowance for whatever they were doing.
Okay, so let's come to challenges now.
Yes.
I'm sure because of the loss of your father, maybe, you know, when you were transitioning into university, are there any form of challenges faced, and if any, how did you overcome them?
Well, the year I entered the university was the year all our companies collapsed because of government policy. The Nigerian government decided that they wanted import orientation industrialization rather than export orientation industrialization. So all the factories that were around, Akpata used to be the industrial area of Ibadan, Naipol, everybody was there. All the companies just were all the individuals that owned companies, that means the whole batch of our social cycle, everybody just went down.
Wow.
So now, being at the university, the real challenges I noticed was that my classmates didn't know more than their course of study. They were not politically exposed. They were not, so this is illiteracy at another level. No, really, you could be very serious. Then I was born again in church. I loved the aspect of it more than any other thing, because you knew the battle was for the soul. Till tomorrow, the battle is for the soul of men. How they think, how they reason. I was in judo. People tell me, you're a Christian and you're fighting judo. I said, well, if it belongs to the tribe that does not fight, so be it. My tribe fights. So I had that to do. And so the real challenge was that there were some girls that were called Potter's Lodge girls. So I think I was moving with my best friend, Morenike, away, I'm very selective in life. I don't really have, I speak with everybody where I'm that, like that. Kind of. I've always been, personally, I'm quite deep. Okay. It's the crucible of creativity. You must be very silent if you're creative. So I used to go to the theater. I was everywhere. Happy girl. My lecturers knew me definitely. I loved them and they loved me. And I didn't have adults that were trying to really date you. Maybe I was too small too. I was very young. That could be part of it. Maybe the girls that were more mature had them looking at them. But
so what year did you get admitted into school?
After my HSC, I came in 200 level, 1983, 85 was when I, by 87, I was out of the university. I think I came in 85, thereabouts, 85. Finished 3 years after, left the university. So now what I remember about my university days, my lecturers were kind. They weren't especially kind to me as an individual, but the organization in UI made room for growth. My classmates. Then when I came for my MSc, that's what I want to say about UI again. My MSc class, 2 theories stood out for me. Professor Shibanjo, that would always say, think, use your mind. That was, that got me looking into the concepts of thoughts, thinking, how thinking influences life. That's opened up a lot for me. And that was Professor Corey that said, what you do not know may never hurt you. Prof. So I'll go like, may never hurt you. I don't think, no, what you don't know is going to kill you. So each time he said it, my mom, I'm thinking, ignorance is not a place to stay. Yeah. It's going to kill you. So that was that. So Professor Faboya stood up for me. And a lot of people, a lot of people, they were all wonderful people, really.
Do you think the freedom you had and the love actually pushed you to become a human activist and even a peace advocate?
No, as from home, I later went to UI for peace and conflict studies. As a child, activism is in the family.
Okay.
I'm Tella. And when they give your Riki, they give it Tella Agogoja. So I inherited that because I'm an advocate of family inheritance. Those of you that don't want to hear your Riki, you may never understand yourself. So there's something in me that leads for justice. It's already inherited. Okay? So I just needed the environment to push it up. Then my grandma, like I said, she told me a story. Then I wasn't even too good with Yoruba. Anybody that knew me when I was younger will know that. So, but she told a story of a girl that was forced into marriage, early marriage. And she didn't like that man. So what she did was to build effigies, okay, as she was going. She had a carving knife on her. That taught me that wherever you find yourself in life, you have something around you that you can use to shape your freedom. So she escaped. And when I was 17, strange enough, 200 level, one young man said, And that's why I say sometimes when you are the daughter of a widow, those are the challenges now. Too many people want to exploit you. They think that because you've lost your dad, who is a protector and a provider. And I put it to you, Nigeria is as strong as the kind of men that are in Nigeria. Men are natural providers and protectors. If the men are standing, and that's why I want people, please don't teach our children that the alpha male is the toxic male. No. A toxic human being is a toxic human being. The alpha male is the leader. And westernization is teaching our people to disrespect men. In fact, so many men are now confused. They don't even know what role to play. So they run away from the homes and hang out by themselves. And in their hanging out is like being subdued, emasculated. No. The alpha male is the protector. There can be no Boko Haram if men are standing strong. These were men that faced lions, took over jungles, survived diseases of the tropical environment. These were people that fought other nations. So I want men to stand up and fight for their homes. You don't run from your home, you protect your homes. Men are providers and protectors. Women nurture. And men should give women what to nurture with. So let our boys understand it. We need them to be strong, masculine, great. We need them in their place, no shying away from strength. You don't need to carry a lady's bag. If it's not a valise, big box that she cannot lift. What you need to, do you know what it does to your image as a man? Carrying a small purse. Is the purse too heavy for the girl to carry? So if we're fighting for, and of course, all feminists, I give it to you, it's because of them, females can speak on air. And we are not all covered on our heads, and locked up in some room. So yes, I understand it. But these young girls of nowadays, they need to change some bits. Do you get it? Being assertive does not mean being rude.
True.
Our femininity is our strength. Femininity is our strength. So please embrace your strength, your sweetness, your kindness. It will not stop you from being a strong female. And then the worst insult that I see is when they say a weak man is behaving like a woman. No. A weak man is a weak man. A stupid man is a stupid man. A strong man is a strong man.
Not acting like...
Not acting. And when people say, oh, I say, no, I'm Obirin. Many women out there are better than I am. But because they've not exploited their strength. So I'm calling on every girl child. Your femininity, your feminine voice, the babies need. Even when men want to talk to babies, they nationalize their voice. Because that is the voice that is needed for nurturing. Comforting your children, embracing them is part of life. It's beautiful. So, and let the men stand, be strong. Don't bow, be coward, and be moving your leg anyhow, No. You are a man. Stand in your place as a man. And it takes more than money to be a man. Yes.
So with all that you're saying, is that what led you now to be a relationship coach? Because the activism is there, and being a peace advocate again is there. What can these two, is it that these two actually led you into being a relationship coach as well?
Yes, what has happened over time is I have an NGO. So we advocate, we prevent, we create awareness around assault, suicide, homelessness, and addiction. So I've discovered that so many times people are subject to assault because they don't have certain understanding of what the relationship is. Marriage is beautiful, and the cases we really handle.
You're going to tell us about how you met your husband as well, but you're going to go on this break. You're going on this break, and when you come back, we talk about the fact that you're a relationship coach and how you met your husband. It's still the Mid Morning Show. You see, the conversation is actually ongoing here.
It's really getting hot right now.
It's a Mid-Morning Show. You guys just joined it, and it's the personality of the week. And we have Mrs. Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu. She's been taking us into a world, inspiring us and motivating us. So before we went on that break, we were talking about you being a relationship coach. But before, I know that at least how you met your husband led to that aspect as well. So please tell us how you met your husband.
Well, I met Ademola Aremu when I came for my second master's degree. That was my MSc now. And that human being, when I met him, I said, and I really had accountability partners, my lecturers, yes, CP, he asked me, that is not my own. That's not my husband. So my husband now. So I met him. He was the hall chair for our hall then.
Okay.
And he wasn't the only one trying to talk to me. I used to do a lot of theater then. So we met, and the beautiful thing was he had a different religion from mine. And people were like, what is your lamb doing with this? I laughed. I said, I like him. So my lecturer asked me, you mean you can't marry a lecturer? I just like the guy. Okay. So the beautiful thing about him, and I'll say it, my daddy's values. My daddy taught me pay labor. So then they would pay the workers, the cleaners of our hall. Professor Hussein then was the hall chair. They would pay them late. So Ademola Remu, the hall chair, would use his own money. He was an assistant lecturer then. I think, he would use his money to pay them. So I asked him, why are you paying them with your money? He said, because their families are expectant. So then government used to pay on the 10th or something thereabout. So he would use his money. Now, my father had taught me one value, to recognize service. My love language is service. His love language is service. So when people were wondering, how did you people meet? And it's very gregarious, social. He was team manager. I mean, I'm more reserved. He was everywhere,
Anyway, opposites attract.
No. The big deal is, it wasn't the opposition. We had similar values.
Okay.
In fact, we had the same value. He feared God. I'd never seen anybody that feared God more than, and then I was always scared. My father told me your life will be public. So I was always afraid of marrying a disgraceful man that would go and steal government money. Yes, because then so many people ran away with people's bank's money. And they were Christians then.
Wow.
So I'd learned to see people beyond the religion they inherited.
Okay.
So I described him to my mom. I said, I met this guy. I like him. He's a good man. If you ask me at this moment now, the only word to use to describe my husband is good. He is a good man.
Simple.
He's a very good man. He's never stolen anybody's money. He's been ASU chairman. He's represented us at national level. You see him on air all the time. People come for our Ileya parties. People ask us, how do you people do it? You're a strong Christian. He's a Muslim. I said, look, we have the same value. The Omoluabi ethos works for us. You're not disrespectful to somebody that is older than you and stuff like that. When you want to explain, and that's what I want to say to people, most of the cases we have in counseling and everything, when these people tell you they are planning, both of you just look at you and smile. The same event has happened in many homes, but people treat these events differently.
Okay.
That is what is precipitating the problem. You will not always agree. If you can always agree, then he's not a man. What I mean by that is that, I like him. He's more intelligent than I am. He knows it. He's quite brilliant, He was one guy that got 100 in JAM. Mathematics. No, he's super brilliant. But he loves me. I appreciate that love. And he loves his kids, So people can't they say, you're an activist. Both of you are out all the time. We're out all the time. People wonder. But the truth is this. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a good man. And I say it that if you have the Yoruba ethos, Omoluabi, you've learned respect, and then you're just normal. I see these things as normal, really. It's becoming strange because we are losing values. So a man is a man in his own place. His love language is service. My love language is service. Do you see how it goes?
Yeah.
So when he's serving his community, I'm not restraining him. For some people, because we need to hold meetings late into the night.
Wow.
As an activist, I know, yes, we have to hold meetings late in the night. We are highly political in our understanding. We're not living just for ourselves.
But what do your children feel about both of you being activists?
They
Have they ever told you that, I don't know why you guys are into this
They
thing?
only wrote poems once. That was a very terrible time, 2011, So I told my children, when you go back to school, they'll ask you what your parents were doing on the road, though. So better be ready. So they wrote poem. My son said, I appreciate my parents. When they go out, I know they may never return. But I will never have them less than that because they care about their people. So that's what led me into relationship issues. Young people are being confounded and confused by adults.
Wow.
They don't know what does it mean to be in a marriage. Marriage is building the next generation. It is not the place to go and be taken. You are an adult, it's time to give. You know, you're not going there to struggle with your image. You know, suppose still you're married to a man, you're still thinking, am I going to dress to kill him? Why do you want to kill a human being? You know, all those kind of values will distract you from the real duty. You must, in Nigeria especially, you have to build something your children can inherit. They cannot inherit your certificate. So you must be ready. So this is a man that I loved him, yes. He loves me much, I know that. So now, love in a marriage is a sunk cost, you know? In business, we talk about sunk cost. It's given.
Okay.
Is the foundation on which you build. Now, you now build with respect and honor. So if, you know, you don't speak rudely to him, he's also somebody's son. And you don't steal him from his family. Yes, he has sisters, very wonderful people. So, and he's the grandson of Arowolo. So he has a very good lineage. And my father-in-law, oh, Alaji, I miss him so much. I love him so. See, he cannot keep his eyes off his babies. And another thing, and I must say, is when I'm pregnant, because I had difficult pregnancies, okay?
Oh, yeah.
My husband will fast for 9 months and pray till 2 a.m. every day for 9 months.
Wow.
So he's as pregnant as his wife.
So how many children did you have?
We have 3 biological children. I have adopted children.
Wow.
And now, as I'm speaking, every day, more than 8, you know what undergraduates are like.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be eating in my house. So, and I also have street kids that are mine. I have like 65 street kids that I'm mothering. So, people need mothers. We need our mothers. And I'm telling you, if Nigeria is going to be saved and delivered, it will be women.
But being an activist, how do you cope financially with all that you do? Because it says 65 street kids. How do you cope? How do you do this for these children?
That is why I say money is not everything.
Oh.
There was a time that I would go on, and really, you know, sincerely, after my marriage, whatever I am today is because of a good man. I mean that. Too many women are gifted, active, but when they marry, the man caps all the things that attracted him in the first place to the woman. Your strength, your ability. Now, since 2017, God gave me an assignment. God told me, said, Katie, the God I'm talking about is Jehovah. Let's clear it. And Yorubas call him Eledumare. So, you know, because people confuse a lot of things about religion. So that's the person I'm talking about. He told me, said, go fight this war for me. He knew I was a human rights, and the war was war against rape.
Okay.
So since 2017 till today, my husband's money has been what has been running the home. Yes. So I had to drop my cars when I started doing street work. Yes, because I couldn't live for myself again. Then I would save my money at the cooperative, collect it, and go take it to the street. And I still do that because very few people will sponsor an NGO, and I cannot beg. I can't beg. No, really. Because people see what you're doing. They think it's fantastic. Then they expect you to be begging. And I'll be wondering, I don't get it. If you truly believe this is nice, just make it easy for us.
Yeah.
We have to think of the real issues. And then transiting from poverty. Poverty is the bedrock of assault because it's the mother of powerlessness. Poverty is the bedrock of suicide because the child is developing a very wrong mentality because he's lacking and he's deprived and he's thinking, my parents, I love them, I look up to them, but their God has not done anything for them. So the child is confused. It's the mother of addictions. Get it? Poverty of the mind. There are 9 frames that hold poverty up there. So I hate ignorance with a passion. And then when it comes to education, and I mean, I really like that part of it, the education, because that is the only power of the 5 powers that are available to men. It's the only one anybody can attain to. Whether you have eyes or your legs are missing, it's only the development of your mind, which that was why I said the soul is what is to be rescued. Even our political class, if their souls are right, they will rule rightly. So I think, and I definitely understand that human beings are valuable. They have intrinsic value. And if you have breath, breath comes from God. God is the father and the source of breath of every spirit. So it means inside that cleaner, there is something that you don't have. Every life is unique. if you will watch out your seat. I told my student, one of my students recently, I said, how are you doing? Are you still into copywriting? He said, yes. That guy makes some nice, cool cash from the internet. I said, I need to be one of your students. Do you train? He said, yes. I'd love to learn from you.
Wow.
And he didn't think I was joking because my students know I learn from them. And I've been doing that since I was in Maiduguri. It's my life. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn because I know that inside you is God.
Wow.
That God has a lot to give to prime me to higher levels.
Wow.
So,
We go on a commercial right now because honestly, I'm getting engrossed. Coming down to your kids,
yes.
between you and your husband, who do you think your kids will say, oh, mom is the disciplinarian type, or will they say both?
They can't say both.
The laugh says it all.
No, they can't say both. My method of reaching people is my husband. He's the head of his home. I'm producing children after his lineage and his name. And so, but there's something about my own home that is unique. My kids asked, Mommy, why is there public holidays? You are home. I said, public holiday is the time they invite us to stations. You know, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where we go everywhere. It's on TV, this place, I'm another place where, you know, we're active people, so we're out there. So our children are groomed differently.
Okay.
Yes, they are groomed to have an independent mind. And they are groomed to, like, you can't come to my house and drop anything. Nobody will take it. There was a time I was in Abuja, my husband was in Abuja. So a friend sent us a text, said, you people have the best kids in the world. I said, they came to the club with grandma and my mom, and wanted to give them. I said, no, our parents didn't ask us to collect anything from you. So they learned very early that if you're an activist, people can drop things in your home. So you can't bring anything to my house and my kids will take them. But who do they look like? The risk of loving a man too much, they look like their daddy.
We have to go on this break. We'll be right back. It's still the Mid-Morning Show. We'll be right back. Right, it's still the Mid-Morning Show, and we've been having fun with our personality of the week, Mrs. Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu. And of course, if you're taking us, when she said that children don't look like her.
They look like the guy.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, Ma, I would like you to take us to your passion. Things you know, when you want to cool off, what do you do for fun, you know? If you, okay, let's just say, okay, maybe it's a holiday time, you want to, let me just relax. What do you do to relax, Ma?
I cool down every day.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. One, I like coasting with the Holy Spirit.
Oh.
I love that, yes, because my strength comes from God. I'm not just a passive God. I'm conscious, you know, I'm spiritually conscious. Yes, so then I dance. Those are my team members, you know. They are all broadcasters. They are on air.
Wow.
So that's the beautiful, wonderful people. So, you know, so I dance, I sing, you know. Those are the things I do. Sometimes I have these MC jobs for my club, for my department, for the university. I'm just there. So I have the creative aspect of me. Then what else do I do? I'm African. I cherish bead making, and I use different medium. I use art. I do a lot of artworks, you know. Like I said, I grew up in a home where when you're playing with Monopoly, etc., board games, you know, indoor games. And part of indoor activities, painting, drawing, doing those stuff. So I do a lot of that even now. Okay. So that's just it. I enjoy life.
So how do you now balance everything? Being an activist,
Yes.
peace advocate, a mother, wife. How do you balance everything?
I get that question all the time. I simply say sincerely, I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I am. Okay? I am. What I mean is my parents, really my mom, thank you. You know, this is what happened. As we were growing up, we're not the type that, we lived in an open space. You know what I mean by open? I'm open with my brother. So all this sibling, rivalry, quarreling was not around. You know, so you soon learn that you need somebody to cooperate with you, to collaborate with you, to do stuff with you. So my normal day runs like this. So I breastfed my babies. Never had a maid in my life. because I'm a human rights activist. So you can't have a maid. Yes, so that would be bad. So, and I was working out of state for all the times I worked in UNAB, 11 years. I was working out of state. So I'll sleep very late, like 11 then. The kids were young, and my husband would prepare them for school because I would have left home by 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
To go because I must be in Abeokuta before 8. So he was always there. So I've always had this wonderful partner, and I mean it. So it took up a lot of work, So, and many people don't even know he's they will think, he's an activist, he's strong, But that man is man. Yes, he's man. He mans every space. So the other part of it, I'm not lazy. I have I work hard. You will even be complaining, she does not sleep. But I sleep. Yes, because people wonder. Because by 6:30 this morning, I'm usually out because I do news analysis.
Okay.
So I'm on radio. Then I will act when I have my phone. But what I've used is location. What I mean by that is, if you're shooting outside Ibadan, you're not getting me.
Okay.
Do you get the idea now? Then the things I do around my home. My library is in the home, my activity. So it's while I'm in my kitchen, I'm doing my dancing, while I'm washing plates. Do you see how the whole thing is going?
So it's still within...
I use location to control my activity. That makes me that's my study. That makes me very, very productive.
Whoa.
Yes. That's like 1/6 of the whole